One day, someone woke up and said, hey, remember those Nickelodeon cartoon characters we were watching as kids? What if they could punch each other square in the face? That someone was Ludosity and Fair Play Labs, who then went on to create Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, which was released in 2021. Those same people went on and then said, wow, that was so much fun, let's do it again. And that's why we're here today, folks. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls 2 is developed by Ludosity and Fair Play Labs and is published by Game Mill Entertainment. The game is currently scheduled for a November 7th release. Huge thanks to the developers for blessing your boy with an early copy of the game so that I can give it a review. But no, not just any review. This is my very first review, and who better than to pop my cherry, but with the colorful and comical Nick cartoon characters I've grown up with. Wait a minute, that didn't come out the way I thought it would. Anyways, let's go over the mechanics. Much like its predecessor, Nick All-Stars Brawl 2 is what you would call a platform fighter. It is very similar to the likes of Smash Brothers and Brawlhalla. The main objective of the game is to do enough damage to your opponent to increase their percentage and then knock them off of the platform, sending them to their doom. So with that in mind, let's cover your attacks. Light attacks are your primary normals, as they are fast and they have different angles depending on the input you press alongside it. Strong attacks, which can be charged for massive damage and the potential to kill on high percentages. And special attacks. These are your most charismatic attacks, as they are references to moments from the TV shows and have different properties like projectiles, counters, long-range movement options, you name it. Anything for a platform staple. In conjunction with those, you have multi-directional throws, which now have unique animations, which I heard was an issue with the first game, and a multitude of defensive options like shielding, sidestepping, left or right, and spot dodging to evade impending attacks. New to this game is the slime meter. The slime meter is that green bar that's next to your character's portrait, and it is filled by dishing and receiving damage. Slime meter has 3 stocks and can be used by holding L2 if you're playing the PS5 version like myself, and a corresponding button. You can use 1 stock of slime to enhance your special attacks or strong attacks for more damage and different properties. If your percentage is high and you're knocked out, press L2 and shield to use 2 slime stocks to stop your momentum and halt your fall. And lastly, when your slime bar is full, you can execute your ultimate attack by pressing L2 and light attack. Ultimate attacks are your strongest attack and are similar to final smashes, and they are cool, quirky cutscenes that call back to moments from the cartoon. Speaking of the cartoon, let's talk about one of the main draws of this game, and that is of course the colorful characters. Man, where do I even start? I'm sure if you're just like me, you can relate. Being born in the early 90s, my entire childhood was Nickelodeon. Saturday mornings with a big bowl of cereal, and watching shows like Rugrats, SpongeBob, Rocket Power, Wild Thornberrys, and of course my personal favorite, Hey Arnold. Once the cartoons were done and the Saturdays continued on, that means the games was coming on. And in a lot of cases, it was me and my brother and my cousins playing nothing but fighting games or N64 wrestling games. So to be able to combine both my first 2 loves in Nicktoons and fighting games into one bombastic explosion, you know I had to get in on this game. The fighters in this game are from a wide range of Nicktoons spanning almost 40 years now. Your expected and returning megastars are here like SpongeBob, Patrick, Rocco, Ren and Stimpy, Nigel Thornberry, and of course Zim. One cool thing is that all the veteran fighters from the previous game all have reworked movesets and tools now to make them feel new and fresh, which is something they didn't need to do, but you know, it's cool, we'll take that. New fighters entering the fray this time around are the likes of Jimmy Neutron, Garfield, Angry Beavers, Squidward, and oh snap, we even got Grandma Gertie up in here. The roster is certainly bigger than the first game, but eagle-eyed viewers will realize that something isn't right. A great portion of the first game's roster is just straight up missing. Reptile and Jenny made it back in, but over the likes of Sandy, Helga, even Hugh Neutron. One of the biggest misses for me was definitely Leo and Mikey missing. The fact that they added Raphael and Donatello in here means that we have 2 more turtles, but you can't play all 4. Hell, even Toph is missing, and I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of Avatar, or more so I've never really watched it or anything, but I do understand the significance and the fandom that the character has. To be honest, I'm not too sure the intentions behind this, unless it's just so they can sell them as DLC later. But to be honest, one of the many staples of platform fighters are the roster size and how huge it can get. It's very important to have as many characters as possible, But for the characters and roster size that we got on release, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's pretty good. It's a strong roster. Like I said before, it covers a lot of bases. It's a sizable range, you know, from cartoons from the 90s, 2000s, and even current. Personally, I would have liked to see some character reps from Rocket Power. Like, I don't know, give Tito, like, Akuma's moveset? Just do something like that. Maybe some Kablam representation as well. I think that would have been cool. But honestly though, the character I want the most, and I gotta question y'all, where the hell is Crimson Chin? Dude would be so perfect for this game. I'm not sure if there's like any legalities or something going on with characters from Fairly Odd Parents, but like, come on, the Crimson Chin would feel right at home here. I mean, you could put like any version of Crimson Chin, right? You could put the classic one, the chromed out 2000s one. The only Crimson Chin you can't put is...
Not me! I got canceled!
Speaking of character versions, one of the many complaints in the previous game was the lack of colors or outfits, and I gotta say this game has done a fantastic job with a good remedy for that. Each character has 4 or more different outfits from various episodes in their respective shows. We got Elastic Man Patrick, Grandma Gertie when her and Arnold went to go set Lockjaw free, Jimmy Neutron from the episode when he was like the Orange Hulk, Jenny when she's rusted after a big battle, and the one that wowed me the most were the Ninja Turtles having a comic skin that made them completely white with the headbands being red, because that's exactly how they were in the comics. You know, for those that may not have known the original adaptation of the Ninja Turtles, obviously the comic, so they're completely all white, but the red headbands, they all had red headbands. I don't think it was until the 80s cartoon when they gave them all different color headbands just to distinguish them from each other. New stages are here as well, and they all do a great job at representing the Nicktoons, but also do a phenomenal job at just feeling different to play on. While there's a surplus of balanced stages with 1 or 2 platforms, or some with none at all that, you know, is just a straight line, very similar to Final Destination, there's a few cool stages with hazards and obstructions, along with items for casual play, that I think adds a next level of caution and randomness, and of course fun. The music for these stages though, they're okay. I mean, it's pretty much what you'd expect from a game series like this. It's mostly atmospheric and it isn't inherently offensive, but to be honest, nothing really sticks out as much. If I had to choose my favorite song right now, it would be the Garfield stage. I think it's called Food Dream. But honestly, that's mostly because it reminds me of Mario Odyssey. So yeah, go give it a listen. Nick All-Stars Brawl 2 has a solid number of game modes to keep you on for hours, including one that's really cool and new to the series. But before we get there, let's cover the traditional ones. For multiplayer, of course, you have the standard battle, which can be from 2 to 4 human or CPU controlled opponents with customizable rules and settings to better fit you and your friends. Online mode is here, but because this is an early copy of the game, I wasn't really able to play it yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to it once the game drops, so let me know in the comments if you guys want to play some games. For single player content, you have a fun arcade ladder with various difficulties that you can set it for. I took Jenny through this ladder and I gotta say I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. There's a lot of variety in the fights, ranging from standard battles, teaming with other characters to take down giant kaiju-like enemies, and even some of the boss fights and minigames that are peppered in before you get to the final boss, of course. Speaking of, Boss Rush mode sounds exactly like what it is, where you take your characters with a few stocks and battle every single boss the game has to offer. These fights are really cool and a nice change of pace from the game, but goddamn bro, Flying Dutchman had it out for me. Dude was cooking me left and right. I couldn't do anything. I guess he's still mad about SpongeBob pretending to be him on Halloween, but I don't know bro, why you gotta do me like that, Flying Dutchman? Minigame mode has the 2 minigames that you encounter in the arcade ladder, but they're here to play at your own leisure. The 2 minigames are Pop the Bubble and Whack-A-Bot. Similar to Target Practice from Smash Bros, the minigames all have different layouts for each character that cater to their assets and movement options. This game also offers a training mode for hardcore players to get their combos and spacing down, as well as to practice specific matchups and setups. And I gotta say, I've watched quite a bit of the tournament footage from the first game, and seeing what those players came up with, I definitely cannot wait to see what a lot of the upper echelon of hardcore players, to see what they come up with this time around. The big new mode in this game is called Campaign Mode, and man, I gotta say, seeing this here instantly put a smile on my face. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I loved Subspace Mode from Smash Bros. Brawl, and this Campaign Mode draws a lot of inspiration from that. In this mode, you start off with SpongeBob and traverse through various battles and stages to unlock other characters to have at your disposal. You will obtain currency to use and buy power-ups and equipment for your characters. I haven't played much of it, but honestly I'm loving it so far. There's a lot of funny interactions between the characters and witty banter, the stuff you would see on the cartoon, and again, we are playing a game with a bunch of cartoon characters, right? Characters we grew up with, so seeing them be able to interact not only with the characters in their own universe, but the characters from a different universe, right? I really cannot wait to see what happens. Again, I've only been playing it for a little bit of time. I haven't put too much into the campaign mode, but I cannot wait to see where this story takes me. With all those things being said, it is time to answer the question of the thumbnail. Is this game good? Is this game worth it? The short answer is yes. The gameplay is fun and smooth, just like the original title, and it most certainly has that feeling of easy to play, yet hard to master. But that makes it all rewarding, right? Practicing the game more, getting better, steadily improving. The game is also $49.99, which is a little cheaper than most modern releases. And we are approaching the holiday season, so why not buy the game on Black Friday? Why not buy it for someone on Christmas, you know? I think to myself, again, when I was younger, and on those Christmases and Thanksgivings when me and my family members would get together and just play a bunch of multiplayer games, and I look at this title here, and I think it's perfect for that. I think this is a game you want to play with your siblings. You want to play with your friends. You know, after a long day of work, everyone just comes home, gets to reminisce, turn the game on. And again, I think this game is going to be perfect for that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments who your favorite Nicktoon characters are. This was my first review, and I hope I've done you guys well. So please let me know as well in the comments about that. But I'm going to see y'all online when the full game is out. For now, I need to take my old ass to bed because I got work in the morning. So have a good one and take care.